Hey there, my name is Ali. Today's tutorial is a request from someone called Master Kayo. He asked me like how to add organic textures like grass or like tree texture. Okay, so first I'm gonna show you how to add grass texture. I'm gonna grab a grass texture photo. Okay, obviously this one, if we like place it the way we want, it's gonna be so big. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna press Ctrl T, just make it smaller. Okay, then I'm gonna hold Alt and just make another copy of it to the right. I'm not gonna bring the edges together, I'm gonna overlap it a little bit. You see, I'm overlapping it a little bit. Okay, then I'm gonna take my eraser, press a click. He'll tell me it's not rasterized, you must rasterize. Okay, then on the edge, where is my edge? This is the edge. I'm gonna use my eraser, and I got the eraser by pressing E, and just softly I'm gonna erase. Make sure it's just a soft brush. Okay, now I erased my edge. I'm gonna click them both, press Ctrl E. Okay, now we have the first like copy. Then now I'm gonna do it very fast. I hold Alt and Shift and drag it to the right, press E, delete the edge, then press Ctrl E, it will merge them together. Then press V, I'm back to the move tool, then Alt Shift, move them down, E, delete, Ctrl E, V, Alt Shift, drag down, E, erase, Ctrl E to merge, V to bring the move tool. This is like how to do it very fast. So now look, I'm having like a huge copy of my texture. I'm gonna make it even smaller, something like that. Maybe make one more copy like that. Okay, and on the last copy like that. Okay, so now we have like a huge grass texture. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna place it down. Then I'm gonna stand at this point. I'm gonna hold Control and Alt and Shift, which is Command, Option and Shift. Then click and then reduce it down, something like that. Then I'm gonna hold Shift and I'm gonna drag this one down all the way down. Then I'm gonna press Control Alt Shift again. Put this one like that. Pull it down till like the place I want it to be. Something like that. Then I'm gonna pull it again, so it's like covering everything. Okay, you can always play around. You can make this one bigger if you want it to be like more straight, or if you want the angle to be like from more down or from more up. I want it to be something like that. Then I'm gonna press OK. Okay, just be careful when you do that. You have a lot of excess here. If I show you in the crop tool, we have a lot of like pixels we're not using. This will make your file really slow. So what I did is crop click, then make sure you have the delete crop pixels, and when you press yes, it will delete all the excesses. You see, we don't have anything. This will make your file like faster. Okay, now we have like some sort of grass, but it's completely flat. I'll show you like a fast way to do like how to make like bumps in it and everything. So I'm just gonna, with the rectangle marquee or with the lasso tool, I'm gonna use the rectangle. I'm just gonna draw something like that. Okay, then I'm gonna press Ctrl J. Now I have a copy of this area only. Now I'm gonna press Ctrl T, right click, warp. Then I'm gonna do some sort of a bump like that. Let's say, I don't know if you can see it actually, but it's a very like, if you look closely, we have some bump, but it still doesn't look natural, because when you have a bump, the light is affected. But here we only affected the texture. We made the texture like bumping. However, to do like more subtle effect, we're gonna go to the dodge and burn tool. I'm gonna go with the burn tool with a very like small like opacity. I just wanna know where am I. Okay, this is like my effect. So if I darken like these areas like that, and I darken that edge here, maybe like that, and then I'm gonna brighten with the dodge tool. I'm gonna be in the mid-tones with a low opacity. I'm gonna dodge the edges here and some of the edges there which should be facing the light. And now if I zoom out, you see what I have? I have some sort of a bump in the grass. This is how, if you like want to make it like change around with the grass. But I always recommend, if you want to add like a grass texture, just search in the stock photos and make sure like you find the one you exactly want. Easier than like creating it like that, especially if it's from like a close view, because it's not gonna be like really 100% realistic. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna show you how to add like a bark texture. Let's say we have this type of tree. Let's say first I'm gonna straighten it out, make it smaller. Okay, let's say we have this tree. Let's say it's not only like that, let's add a little bit to it. Something like that, like it's like hitting the ground. I'm gonna rasterize it, press Alt backspace, just to color. Let's say it's something like that. Oh no, that's not good. Okay, let's say we have this like, it's very ugly actually. Okay, I don't care, just like I'm gonna show you how. Let's say we have this like shape and we wanna add texture to it. I'm gonna bring my texture. Actually, these I got from the textures from that website. It's called textures.com or CG Textures. It has a lot of like, you can have credits and you can download every day few textures, but I can't link them because like they don't belong to me, they belong to the website. I can't like redistribute them. Okay, so now I have my texture. I'm gonna rasterize it. Then I'm gonna do the same, make it smaller. Now I'm gonna copy it, Alt Shift, drag, and then softly by the eraser, delete the edge, Control E to merge them, Alt Shift, drag, then remove the edge, Control E, V, Alt Shift, drag, Control E, and I'm just gonna like do a huge texture. I don't care how big is it, it's okay. And I'm gonna just put it like here, make sure it's like covering the whole tree. I'm gonna just increase its size a little bit. Now press Control click on the tree layer. Now you made a selection of the tree layer. Now on that layer, just add layer mask. Now it's like linked to it. Now we have our like tree linked to the selection. Now we don't need this one anymore. Like we don't need the selection now. Okay, now since we have the tree, the first problem we're gonna face here, the texture is good. It's like going from up to down like the tree, but here the texture is like, it should be to the side, not up and down. So to fix that, you can unlink the layer mask. Now you're only affecting the photo. You can take this one, the like the lasso, and just make a selection of the area you want to change. Let's say this one. Now I'm gonna press Ctrl T and just rotate it a little bit, make it maybe larger, and press enter. Now the texture is not straight here, and then it bends a little bit with the tree. And also let's say we can make it here. No, here it's like, it's okay. Let's say in this one, let's select like that. And just Control T, and we can rotate actually the selection and move it. You see now it's to the right, but then we enter. Okay, Control D. Okay, then we have a problem, which is we have here some sort of a sharp line. So how I'm gonna fix that? I'm gonna stand on the main layer, use the clone stamp tool with a 100% opacity. I'm gonna stamp from here and just fix those edges. Stamp from here, fix those edges. So now we have this part like straight again, and this one to the right. Okay, now we fixed the texture itself. Now we have like a big problem, which is the lighting. The same way we did to this one, I'll do to that one. But the problem with actually dodging and burning, let's say I made like something like that, but then I don't like it. It's like destructive edit. It affected the main layer. I'm gonna show you how to do it with a non-destructive way. Okay, you add a curves adjustment layer, and then let's say we wanna darken, or let's start with brightening. I'm just gonna brighten everything. Make sure the layer is linked to the tree. And on the layer mask, press Ctrl and I so it becomes invisible. Now using a brush, a white brush, make sure it's like the normal brush, and soft of course, and with just low opacity. Now whenever we're gonna paint, we're gonna dodge. So let's say I wanna dodge the edges. So I'm just gonna paint on the edges like that with my brush. So now we're some sort of like dodging the edges. Okay, now we're making the edges brighter, so it's look like more of 3D. It was like completely flat before that. The very cool thing about that is that, for example, I made a mistake and I colored this area by mistake and I don't want it. All you do is you switch to black and just color over it, it's invisible. Let's say this is not strong enough. the brightening. You could just go to the curves, make it even brighter or make it even darker. So this is really cool. Okay, now I want to do the opposite, which is burning. So I'm gonna go to a curves adjustment, link it below, and just darken everything out. Then I'm gonna press Ctrl I to cancel out the effect. Then using a white brush with a low opacity, now whenever I paint, I'm gonna bring back the darkening. So I'm gonna paint in the middle to give it like the 3D effect I wanted, and then I'm gonna like paint more down. Okay, so this is like the way to add textures in Photoshop. This is just an explanation. Of course, it doesn't look perfect, but like you can check, I have a lot of other examples in my advanced tutorials of how I do like perfectly add texture to photos. And I always highly recommend, like, if you find the photo, just use it. It's gonna be better than like drawing the thing and adding the texture itself. But sometimes you wanna do like custom shapes, so you're forced to do this effect. Okay, now I guess the brightening is too strong here, so I'm just gonna lower the opacity so it's not that strongly bright. Okay, of course it looks fake. I have always a tip. Make sure you blur the edges of the mask. So if you blur the edges of the mask, it's gonna look a little bit better. Less fake. Still fake, okay? So what we're gonna do is you can erase a little bit of the edges by the brush with a custom brush which is already built in the Photoshop, and just paint with black over the edges to add like some sort of grass. Just like to make it more realistic, because the grass should be in real life overlapping some of the tree itself. So this should make it like more like it's standing. And of course you could add shadow below and everything to make it even more realistic. Okay, that's it for today's tutorial. I hope you like learned something from it. If you have any requests or you want me to do any custom tutorial for you, make sure you send me your request, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or just anywhere, or even in the comments below, and I'm very active and I'll do it for you. Okay guys, thank you.